Oh, hello. Welcome to another Tabletop Impulse video. Going to be a pretty quick one today. We're just talking a little bit about the news that's just dropped about Kill Team and Warhammer Plus, and a few other little bits and pieces of thoughts as well. So let's get straight into it. So this is in reference to the Sunday preview article. So usually on a Sunday, I sit up and wait for the Sunday preview article to go up. Obviously this week I was really hoping it was going to be Into the Dark, coming up for pre-order next Saturday. We now know that that isn't going to be on pre-order on Saturday, so we'll see next week on Sunday the 21st if they put up the article saying it's going on preview. If it does go on preview, like preview on the 21st, then it'll go on pre-order on the 27th, and then it will come out either on the 3rd of September or the 10th of September. Depending on whether it's a 1 or a 2 week pre-order. So my guess now is it's going to come out for pre-order on the 27th. So Games Workshop have done something really, really interesting though this weekend. They've said that they're doing a Kill Team battle report on Warhammer Plus that comes out on Wednesday, 17th. They write here. Let me get my laser pointer for you. They write here: the Kill Team Into the Dark box set gets its moment in the spotlight with this week's battle report on Warhammer Plus, when the Imperial Navy breachers face off against the Kroot Firestalker Kim Band amid the claustrophobic corridors of an ancient space hulk. So they're giving us this sort of exhibition game, the preview game, where they're going to show off some of the rules for the two new teams, and crucially, I think some of the rules they must have to tell us, surely, for how you actually play a game in close confines, how much of a change that is to the standard the Kill Team that we're used to. And Games Workshop actually does something really interesting with this, okay? Usually they don't leverage the fact that they're Games Workshop and they control everything. And what I mean by that is there have been weeks before where there's been a big release out and they've had the pre-order, and then promptly you've had all of the YouTube channels that get, you know, all the 10k subscribers and up YouTube channels that get stuff early have done a full kind of man reads book content. Everybody knows what's in the book. And then they spend the next week or the next 2 weeks, if it's a 2 week pre-order, kind of telling you little bits of stuff as if it's like, ooh, really fun little teasers. And the people who are really invested have already watched and paused and screen capped and debated on Discord, all these things. So they're actually doing something to build hype while it's still worth doing, which I think is amazing. They're putting it behind their paywalled Warhammer Plus subscription service. Now, I don't want to turn this video into a... This is a video, it is about Warhammer Plus, but I don't want to turn it into a kind of polemic about Warhammer Plus in general. I subscribe to Warhammer Plus. That is not really your guarantee of quality. I will buy the things that Games Workshop make because I like their stuff, and I'll probably pay more money than I ought to for a lot of their things. Now, you know, Warhammer Plus, I think it's pretty good. If you like the miniatures every year, the bundled miniature, the £10 voucher, and the if you put it this way, I was subscribed to their apps anyway. Now, whether or not I should have been subscribed to their apps, given the kind of usability of some of the Games Workshop apps, is another question. But if you were, then you pay very little on top of that for your actual Warhammer Plus subscription. And I will just say, actually, I found there've not been many animations. There've not been as many as they promised. But all the ones that they've made, I've watched. I've enjoyed them all. So it is what it is. But they're doing a Kill Team battle report. Now, I will review the battle report as best as I can. Not sure. Like, I wouldn't be comfortable playing the whole, like, recording it and playing it and commenting over the top of it, even though there's part of me that feels that that's critique, and therefore you could do that. You could play sections to evaluate and comment on them. It would still probably get flagged, wouldn't it? But what I will do is I will watch it and take notes, and I will basically give you guys the summary of what rules things that we've learned, perhaps with some still screenshots. I think that's probably about the long and the short of what you're going to get in terms of content. Another person who's braver than me might be willing to kind of do a commentary track over the top of the thing. it's really interesting to me that I don't know anything, but if the pre-order date for Into the Dark is going to be the 27th, then you'd expect the creators that are going to get sent it would probably have it by now. Speculation. And so I think some of the bigger channels are going to be in a bit of a bind when it comes to talking about this stuff, because they're very hard, I imagine, to just comment on the stuff that came out of the battle report video and not the other stuff that you know that you can't talk about yet. So maybe that's the niche for a tiny micro channel like mine, right, to come in and be able to continue producing content in this kind of purdah period. Perhaps. But yeah, that was interesting. It's going to Warhammer Plus. Some more news. Yeah, of course I'm talking about this. I've lured you in. It's a video of bases again. You know, because obviously I got so hyper on talking about bases last time. I couldn't let this little nugget pass me by. So they've made this miniature as one of the 2 choices for your subscriber exclusive. I promise you, I'm not trying to get you to subscribe to Warhammer Plus. I don't get kickbacks. It's fine. This is one of your 2 subscriber exclusive miniatures this year for Warhammer Plus. It's based on this classic Mark Gibbons piece of artwork. I am a bit of a sucker for any of these miniatures that do. They've done a few now where it's like that's the piece of artwork, and now that's the miniature, kind of just copied from the piece of artwork. I love it. I love it. A lot of people don't like because they never fit. Like I have 2 of the John Blanche Sister of Battle, the Canoness, from the cover of 2nd edition. But I really love that picture. I've got framed one of those John Blanches above my desk. But so I really do like that. Now I don't know whether I'll be getting this particular miniature just because neither I nor Mrs. T.I. like corn particularly all that much. Not big world eaters. I always want to say word bearers when I want to say world eaters, and I always want to say world eaters when I mean to say word bearers. Very difficult. But the base he's on is a Gallowdark base, right? Does that mean anything? Obviously, my conceit to the video is that I think it means something. First of all, just to show you what I mean by Gallowdark base, in case you've missed the whole basing saga, this is a Gallowdark base, as I'm calling it. It's got a black base rim, it's got grey on top, it's got these kind of little white rocks with coffee grain looking things around them, and it's got painted on white stripes, like a car park. The Kazakin that we saw has exactly the same kind of base, and so do the Kroot, and for that matter the Navy Breaches. I haven't got a picture of those. They've all got these same bases. We saw them on the Kazakin first. A lot of people speculated that meant they were going to be a kill team. That seemed to be confirmed when we saw 2 kill teams with those bases. Now we're seeing this limited edition kind of special release miniature on this base. So what does that mean? It means one of a couple of things, okay? First, obvious, kind of hilarious thought is that there's going to be a World Eater Terminator kill team. Now, I think a World Eater Terminator kill team in Space Hulk would be amazing, because they could do a whole thing where they were like, oh, people really want like red Terminators in Space Hulk, because that it used to be Blood Angels, and people wouldn't bat an eyelid at us bringing back Imperial Terminators. But we all know, you know, Space Marines don't really, we don't want to make new Terminator models, but you know who still love Terminators, like classic Terminators? It's Chaos, right? It seems likely that the World Eaters are going to get a cult Terminator unit, just like the Plague Marines and the Thousand Suns have had a cult Terminator unit. Now, I don't think that their cult Terminator unit will be a clone of this guy, right? Because these one-off art piece miniatures don't always like match straight in with stuff, but maybe he is kind of based that way because he could go with that unit as like a swap out for the Sergeant. It's possible. yeah, it's probably jumping to a conclusion, but it's not as obviously not as a lot of people have said it was, because like I say, if they did a Terminator team for the Blood, and it was all Blood Angels themed, and it was in Space Hulk, and it was in a box with Gene Stealers for Kill Team, everyone would be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I think they could really kind of knowingly smile at people and go, well, we're doing a Terminator team for Kill Team, but it's gonna be the World Eaters. I think that's possible. That is possible. It's also possible it's a random coincidence, because so they've developed this base now. They'll have it written down. This, what I'm calling a Gallowdark base. They'll have this written down in their kind of studio manual as a base that you can do, and it could be. I mean, if you go to the Games Workshop website, you can go now. I'll wait. Right? If you look at 40k, if you look at all the things they sell for 40k, they're all on the same kind of brown base of green flock. Every single one. Always has been, so that you can use them in photographs and they don't look incongruous, right? Everything they currently sell on the mainstream 40k website. You know what notably isn't on a standard base? It's this year's Warhammer Plus miniature. Now this isn't a Gallowdark base. This appears to just be a black base rim base with some of the grey texture paint, sort of with a wash and a dry brush, right? But it could be a rule that they have, and I could see this, it could be a rule that they have in heavy metal that says, well, if it isn't a main range product that we're going to sell in Games Workshop stores, and you know, we're not going to use it in books and publications. If it is a specific limited edition project, then the painter can do whatever base that they want, and it could just be, well, we can do whatever base that we want, you know, oh, well, we've kind of designed these Gallowdark bases. I'll put him on a Gallowdark base, because after all, in the image, he's in an industrial setting of some sort. There's a metal girder across the bottom. There's chains coming across the top. So it could just be that, right? Does it make the Kazakin less likely? It makes them a hair less likely. It means that the base isn't necessarily ring fenced just for this season of Kill Team, and so they feel a hair less certain. However, I mean, the thing, it is still notable that the Kazakin have these bases, despite presumably they're not going to be a limited edition, special edition thing. They're going to go on general release, so I would still put money on Kazakin coming for Kill Team, and plus they like World Eater Terminators and Kill Team will be hilarious, but Kazakin actually fit the theme and aesthetics of Kill Team. I also just want to flag up the weird release date for this guy. So people who have subscribed on an annual basis, whales like me, we're going to be able to get this model in the next month or two. People who subscribe on a month by month basis are going to get it in a year's time when they've paid 12 months worth of subscriptions. So even if, like, when you start seeing pictures of this guy in a month or so, like, being assembled and people doing reviews, and no World Eater Kill Team materialise out the woodwork, don't go, ah, well, that was nothing, was it, right? Because maybe it's supposed to come in with a release that's coming way down the line. Don't know. But I thought I'd flag it up for you because I found it was interesting. Right, that's it. That's all I want to talk about today. So a quick one, just 15 minutes. Well, 15 minutes by the time I'm done. Do give me your thoughts on Warhammer Plus, and why I invite that I don't know, because I know people will be angrily partisan one way or the other. I have heard on the grapevine now, it's hard to know what to believe, because there's always a contingent of people that love to portend doom for Games Workshop. Apparently Warhammer Plus isn't doing very well, and apparently they've got this one more year to run, and if it doesn't pick up on subscribers and stuff, they're going to pack it in. Don't know. Okay. Apparently it's not that popular. Don't know. Don't know. So let me know what you think. Let me know if it's something where you tend to subscribe for a month. You know, is anybody actually that mad on Kill Team that they don't really want Warhammer Plus? But thank you, Mr. Motorbike. Gosh, that this will make them take out a subscription. Is this enough for anybody? I'd love to hear from you. If this is enough to make you go, actually, I'll pay them the money to watch that. The bases thing, it's just a bit of fun, really. Do you think it means Kazakin are less nailed on now? Don't know. And briefly talk about YouTube stuff. Obviously, I'm a really tiny channel, less than 1,000 subs, so anything that you can do by way of just clicking that subscribe button really helps out. We got quite an influx of views and subscribers over the last couple of days. People interested in my takes on the FAQ business. This is the more normal kind of vaguely light-hearted, not particularly strident stuff that I do on the channel. I don't like being overly dramatic, so if this is your cup of tea, please do consider a like and a subscribe as well. Alright, thanks guys, have a great evening. Cheerio. Cheerio, bye.